All right.
Thank you, everyone. Just give me a moment. I'll just share the slide with you all. So just a quick check if everybody is able to see the presentation. Okay, thanks, Renita. I could see you. So, hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a good Thursday. And today, this is group 2, and Isha, Pragya, and me, and we're going to present a topic, promoting yourself as a personal brand and elevator pitch using social media. The first presenter would be Pragya Sharma, and I give the handover of the slide to Pragya Sharma.
Hello everyone. I will be talking about benefits of promoting your personal brand and elevator pitch on social media. So we will begin with sharing our handout in the chat. Isha will do it and it says the agenda of the evening. Let me know if you guys can access it. It can be used to stay in loop throughout our session since it includes brief of our entire webinar. So just let me know once you guys are able to see it in chat. Please give me a thumbs up as well. Okay. So I will begin with the first slide. It's the first I will begin with benefits of promoting your personal brand and elevator pitch on social media. So first one is it builds our credibility. So by putting ourselves out there and providing that there's a face and proving that there's a face behind our brand, we are showing our target market that they can trust us. Since they want to see what we can do and and what kind of services we can provide. By having strong personal branding, we are building our personal credibility in the market. The next one is form vital relationships. Since it's important to show the target market they can trust us, we can do it through building genuine relationship with potential customers. So it's not necessarily with customers, but people in our field as well. For example, I've started forming networks with people who previously did this course, and I'm grateful for that because through that process, I've met of quite a few people who are helping me with getting to know the field well and everything else, and with the practicum as well. And the third one, which I would like to share, is the third benefit is establish yourself as an expert. Since we have the power to post content regularly, that establishes us as an expert in a field, and we end up building even a stronger network. And it's a win-win situation. So strong personal branding is key for our career success. Next, I will next Isha will be talking about perfecting your social media profile.
Okay, thank you, Pragya. Okay, thank you so much, Pragya, for that. Could we move on to the next slide, please? So the previous one. Yes, thank you so much. So Pragya just talked about the different benefits of, promoting your personal brand and your elevator pitch on social media. And I would take on from, what are the things that we don't hear often about what to post and what not to post on social media if you're on there professionally. So starting with the first thing, that is staying consistent yet standing out. Make sure that you're not just sticking to one platform. So a lot of us are just there on LinkedIn and we're not there professionally on Facebook or on any other social media network. So one good thing would be to be there on different platforms. Second, stick to a defined persona, and by that I mean be your authentic self. So even though you are showcasing yourself professionally, and yes, you want your good points to stand out, just be true to your own self. Do not exaggerate do not exaggerate your qualifications, your skills, and the personality that you have. Instead, show your true self to people, because that's what makes you stand out. Then remember to take advantage of different resources. So even though you're utilizing different platforms, you should be able to send similar messages everywhere, right? So all of the messages, so if I'm on LinkedIn and I am portraying myself on LinkedIn as a CDP student, so I should have similar aspects of my profession on my professional Facebook profile. That is what means when I talk about staying consistent. Then how do we stand out? So different social media platforms have different features, right? So we can utilize those different features. Like on Facebook we can use live webinars, and on LinkedIn we can use certifications. The next few tips are basically highlighting your expertise. So show who you are and just show everybody the truth. Quality over quantity. So whatever you post on social media or whatever you share on your professional sites, they are supposed to bring value to the audience. So do not add unnecessary details. Only add things that are required and that speak to you and to the audience. Then make sure that you do cross-platform planning. So when you're managing different platforms professionally, it is very crucial that you keep track of each one. So you are supposed to regularly post on each of the platforms. If you're on LinkedIn, do not disregard or forget about your Facebook or Twitter profile. Stay consistent on all of those. Now these are some tips that I had. Why don't we switch up the whiteboard, and I would ask you guys to give us some tips, just share some tips with the classmates that you feel should be good to maintain a perfect social media profile professionally. Srishti would be managing the comment section for me. Anybody wishes to unmute, they could unmute and let us know if there are any tips that you want to give to your fellow classmates. Anyone? How would you perfect your social media profile professionally?
On LinkedIn, continually reviewing it, so it's not.
I mean, till we wait for someone else to jump in. I do have some things that I wish I would have incorporated in the slides before. So expanding your networks in a different way. If I'm on Facebook, I might just go on and join some Facebook groups that are linked to my profession or to the work that I do. That could be one thing. Any other suggestion that any of you guys have?
Yeah, you need to update often. Update, I think at least once a month.
So I hope I'm okay. So be consistent. I think Christine says be consistent on your sites. Yes. So staying consistent, by that, do you mean, Christine, we regularly post on these social media sites? I can see you on screen. I can see you on my screen. Okay, yes. So we regularly post on social media sites to stay relevant. Review your LinkedIn profile regularly, Nicola says. Yes. So we are supposed to keep it updated. If you're doing a new certification, add that certification. If you've joined a new organization, we could do that. Anyone else? I hope I've not missed anybody.
I
Okay,
would say, like,
so,
sorry, I would just say, like, maybe proofreading.
Then I'm giving the access back to Srishti so that she can continue with her part in the presentation. Thank you so much, guys, for listening and interacting.
I'm just going to interject here for a second, Isha. There were some people making verbal comments, and it seemed like maybe you couldn't hear them. There were people speaking, and it seemed like you couldn't hear their comments. You could see the chat, but.
Srishti?
Isha, are you able to hear us?
Doesn't seem like she can.
Even I guess the same. Isha? I guess she's not able to hear us. Some problems there. Isha, are you able to hear us?
You're on mute, Srishti. I can't hear you. Okay, sorry, I can hear you.
Are you sure? Can you hear me, Isha?
Oh, something wrong.
Yeah. Isha, just like let us know if you can hear me. Pragya, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just sent her a private message, but it seems like she can't hear us. So let's just carry on.
Okay.
It's one of those things that we don't know
I'm
what's
really
going on there.
sorry for the inconvenience,
okay.
Nicola and Tiffany. I could hear you, and I could see that they missed your comments. But
That's okay.
I'm like,
She might have had, maybe she's using earbuds and they lost power or something. That can happen sometimes. So don't worry about it. Sorry to interrupt. Just carry on.
I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let's just continue. I would like to speak about like how to make your pitch, your elevator pitch a little powerful. By this, I mean that it is not really important like if to think while you are actually drafting your elevator pitch that you are actually speaking like one to one with the employer, or you are actually drafting something for your bio, that may be for your LinkedIn profile or something of or something other social media. It is very important to introduce yourself. So this statement might feel like really simple to us, but when we actually sit down to write down something that could suit best to introduce ourselves, we really find it hard to write down our strengths, our values, which can define us the best. One tip I would just like to give everyone is that individual can change the format of answering this question to introduce themselves depending on the person they're answering to. So as you are changing your employers, the company, the type of job you are applying, we can actually change our introduction or maybe the format of introduction. A second tip is explain what you do. By this I mean that you should add your values, your values. By this is like your strength, your expertise, which helps you to stand out of the crowd. And it is very important to communicate your value, to actually make the employer feel that the values you have mentioned really make an impact on your daily life. Suppose I say that I am a good leader. Just stating this statement may seem very vague to the employer. Drafting or saying some mentioning some examples, real life examples which had actually happened in my previous life, would make an impact on my value to the employer. Promote your achievement, do not boost, do not just show off your credibility. Actually just mention the strengths, the values which you value, which actually seems which actually holds a value in your life and in your profession. Demonstrate a passion. Whatever you have mentioned so far, your values, your strength, your expertise, you should be really passionate about that. Only if you are passionate about your skills, your strengths, only then you will be able to work towards it happily and soundly. And every employer wants the individual to be connected to whatever they do. Second of all is this how to brand yourself. uh Attributes, list of attributes, writing down your attribute, writing down your skills is not easy, I agree. Just you could just take a help of your friend, of your co-workers, which would help you to figure out your strengths, and which would help you make which would help you to be unique in the crowd. Choose your audience, creating a statement that which is directed towards the group you're targeting. It should not be vague, because the employer is looking towards your primary skills, the skills which might be necessary for his or her industry. Being honest is very important. It is very tempting to us to exaggerate our abilities, but this is not the right place to actually exaggerate your abilities. You should be very honest. Using excessively large heavy words or technical vocabulary may distract your audience. So just make sure that you choose something really simple and really something catchy, which would make your elevator pitch rememberable to all the to audience you are addressing to. self-impression is equal to the other's impression. If you have trouble in brainstorming your personal skill, ask your friends or your co-workers what they think of your strength. Even after you write a good statement for yourself, it is I like one suggestion is from my side. It is a good idea to check if with a friend to make sure that your idea of yourself matches or what others think of you. Be flexible, as Isha mentioned, that even though it is time consuming to be very consistent on your social media accounts, it is very important that you keep revising at least once a year, or not even once a year, at least once a month, to just reflect if there are any changes or any advancements in your professional career, which is a very key point which will keep you consistent, and through which the employer keeps a track of what is happening in your professional life. This was it for the evening. If you have any doubts, anything which we can address, we would happy to address that.